Handstand half press to L-sit on P-bars. The handstand half press to L-sit is a progression towards both the press to handstand and the Stalder press. Try to think of this movement as eccentric straight arm strength training. This movement can be performed from the floor, but my mobility is not there yet, hence I'm elevating my feet. With a higher elevation, it's easier to stack the hips over the wrists and find the point of balance before lowering into the L-sit. But you'll have more height, which means that you'll need to work harder to control the eccentric lowering into the L-sit. I'd recommend using a high elevation if your pike mobility is limited. With a low elevation or when pressing from the floor, you'll need to have good pike mobility and shoulder mobility to stack your hips above your wrists in the press. Find a height that works best for your level of mobility. Set the P-bars to be shoulder width apart. Place your feet on the elevated surface, roughly hip width apart. Grip the P-bars with straight arms and elevate the shoulders. Next, straighten the legs and aim to stack your hips vertically above your wrists. As you lean the hips forward, the shoulders will also want to move forward. Try to limit this forward motion by actively pushing down into the P-bars and trying to close the angle between your thighs and your torso. Core compression training and pike mobility will obviously help here. It's okay for the shoulders to lean forward, but you want to try and limit this where possible. As you lift the hips and lean the shoulders forward, you will find a point of balance and the toes should float off the elevated surface. Do not jump off the elevated surface. Use your wrist strength and straight arm strength to control this movement as much as possible. As the feet float off the box, bring the legs together and keep the toes pointed. Slowly start to lower down and transition into the L-sit. Focus on pushing down into the P-bars nice and hard. The shoulders will move from being elevated to being protracted and finally into depression. Use your lats to slow down the movement and control the eccentric motion as much as you can. If you've got the strength, you can also start to reverse the movement. Keep the arms straight as you lean the shoulders forward and bring the legs back behind the arms to place them flat on the floor. This is an added bonus and not an essential part of the movement. I'd recommend using a cluster set for this exercise. Each set might be 3 to 5 repetitions, but you perform one repetition and then you rest 15 to 20 seconds before performing the next repetition in the set. This will allow the muscles to recover slightly and improve the quality of the movement. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel.